put it just matter-of-factly. They aren't plain words, those four. You could write them on your thumbnail. Or you could see them here across this spectacular September sky. But remember, too, that they are more than words. They are a way of life. So whenever you speak them freely, speak them proudly, speak them gratefully. I am an American.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Anal King. I'm sorry. Of course, Animal Kingdom. Welcome to Animal Kingdom. Happy College Football Saturday, everybody. Week number 2. Continuing on with our Abandoned in Plain Sight series. This park took a beating after the events of 2020. I mean, of all the Disney parks, I would say it would be very close between Epcot and here as to which park had the biggest impacts and the most things taken away after the events of 2020 and the long closures. So once again, welcome to Animal Kingdom, everybody. We're going to do like we did at Epcot. We'll make a tour around the entire park, and then I'll kind of go over everything that has been there, used to be there, is never coming back, and also we'll do a construction update as well, show you all the projects ongoing and what attractions have closed and have yet to close. This park in particular, starting now through the next at least 2.5 to 3 years, if you all are going to visit Animal Kingdom, you probably should make this park part of a park hopper ticket, because once Dinosaur closes next year, it's going to close in February 2026. Once Dinosaur closes, there's not going to be a lot to do here. You're going to have 5 attractions. Yeah, 5. Kali River Rapids, Expedition Everest, Kilimanjaro Safaris, Avatar Flight of Passage, Navi River Journey. So because of Kali River Rapids closure that normally happens right after the holiday season, usually when the parks get out of the holiday mode and you get into January of the new year, usually Kali River Rapids will close for 3.5 months for refurbishment. Because Dinosaur is closing, if they did that, there would only be 4 attractions available next year. So you got to watch your My Disney Experience app, or as I like to say, My Dismal Experience app. Kali River Rapids is going to be closing in a few weeks, so they can do the refurbishment now. So once we get into, I think it's mid-October, you're only going to have Dinosaur, Kilimanjaro Safaris, Avatar Flight of Passage, Expedition Everest, and Navi River Journey. You're only going to have 5 attractions. Folks, I'm telling you, do not waste your money on that ridiculous Lightning Lane pass, because even though Animal Kingdom's only going to have 5 attractions, do you think they're going to reduce the price of those Lightning Lane passes? Heck no. Do you think the ticket prices will be reduced because Animal Kingdom's only going to have 5 attractions? Heck no. So you really, really, really need to think about your planning here. And as I mentioned many times before, you all are free to do what you want with your money, but I'm telling you, if you are thinking about a very first time trip here to Walt Disney World, you might really, really, really want to consider moving it a few years ahead, because your first trip will be remembered by tons of closures and lots of construction walls. If you're okay with that, and you're okay with spending $5, $10, $15 plus $1,000 for that experience, like I said, everybody's free to do what they want to do, but I'm telling you right now, that's the experience you're going to have. So you really, 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 really need to, one, not listen to all these damn pixie dusters out there, because they're going to lead you down the pea patch. Because if you watch them, you would hardly know that anything's going on around here. Everything is just absolutely wonderful. Which, I mean, it's always a great day to be in the parks. Don't get me wrong there. However, the money that it costs to come to Disney World now is astronomical. And the experience is on the way down because of the closures. There's so much closed now, and there's more attractions yet to close once again, before the end of the year and after the first of next year. So do your research, everybody. Anyway, to get started with this park here, Animal Kingdom, I've said it before, I'll say it a million times. This is Joe Rohde's masterpiece. This park is absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. It's gorgeous. It's just beautifully landscaped, immensely themed, highly immersive. It's a really neat experience. If you're coming here for that, you'll be very happy. But if you're coming here just solely for attractions, like I said, you really need to think hard about getting that park hopper pass, because you're going to get through everything here in maybe an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours max. And please don't waste your money with those stupid lightning lanes. You do not need them here. It's all about timing. Just like I did my vlog at Magic Kingdom on a Halloween party day in the mornings, it's all about timing. And you don't have to rush. Stop watching these vlogs. Rush, 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 rush. You don't have to rush. And there's no mistakes you can. That's the other thing I get so sick of hearing and seeing. All these vlogs out there and these influencers. Don't destroy your vacation with these horrible mistakes. So basically they're putting it out there that, you know, if you do one thing wrongly, you've destroyed your vacation. Your family's going to be pissed at you. Your kids are going to grow up to be criminals and drug addicts, all because you didn't do your Disney vacation right. Stop, everybody. That's freaking ridiculous. Go about it at your own speed, your own pace. Have a fantastic time. That's all that matters. So with that, at Animal Kingdom, once again, it's boots to asses time. I'm going to show you around Animal Kingdom. And I'm going to show you all of the major changes that have taken place. It ain't good. I'll tell you that right now. It ain't good. That's why I'm doing this. Just bring a little awareness. It's about time people see this stuff.
Oklahoma gave me this beautiful Stetson cap, and whenever I look at Venables, I look at a guy who's got a quarterback and an offensive coordinator who know how to play offensive football. He's going to lock down the defense. Give me Oklahoma! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! To get a win for the SEC and these fine Boomers! Sooner! Boomers! Sooner! Boomers! People, have a great day of college football, baby!
This is always a great entry into a theme park. They come through the island like that, come around the corner, Tree of Life comes into view. It was great to see the college game day crew this morning. Was curious as to how they were going to do the picks, especially for the marquee primetime matchup, since this is the first Saturday of Coach Corso's retirement. I think McAfee would be a good fill-in. He did a good job. It was kind of drawn down the center between Oklahoma and Michigan. Me personally, you're hearing it here, folks. Michigan's going to roll Oklahoma by 10 points. To show the folks in Norman how we do things in the Big Ten. So first things first, when you get down to the Tree of Life, you can either go to the left or the right. Left will take you towards Pandora and the Africa section. Right will take you towards the, well, what's left of Dinoland USA. We'll head the Dinoland USA path, and we'll kind of do the full loop. One of the first big changes right here is It's a Bug's Life. Actually, they closed It's a Bug's Life down. The last day was Selection Sunday back in March, right before March Madness started. But it looks like we got a sign getting ready to go up here. So this attraction is unavailable. They say till Christmas. That's the current projections. So once again, first stop, Dinoland. There's a lot of closures, so you're going to see a lot of construction walls. I imagine this sign will be up till Dinosaur closes, because the only thing left right now is the dinosaur attraction. Can't even get into Dinoland now, so they've pushed the construction walls all the way out now. Now that the Boneyard is closed. This is going to be interesting. So how are you supposed to get to Dinosaur? Let's find out. The only way now is this access path that goes around Dinoland. How in the world are you supposed to get back there? Unless you're going to have to go around the old Dinoland this way and then go all the way around and then cut back that way.
checking any bags.
So that's exactly what they did. So in order to get to Dinosaur, you can't walk underneath the Dinoland Boneyard dig site anymore. So you have to come all the way around and then down this way. Holy smokes. Well, let's go check it out. Wow, so Dinoland's pretty much all gone now. The only things that are going to be left are the restaurant and then the dinosaur ride. And as I mentioned earlier, those will be closing on February 1st. Those will be the last day of operation for those. Man, that sucks. That boneyard was a cool play area. It was very, very highly themed. Wow. Yeah. There's a cast member behind me, and about 4 different groups of people are going up to her going, where's the Dinoland playground, the boneyard? Like, it's closed forever now. People aren't real happy, which is why I keep saying, folks, you've got to do your research now more than ever. Oh, and now Dinosaur the Ride is closed. So we're back here where Dinosaur the Ride is. This is the last remaining attraction of the Dinoland area. So now with this ride being closed right now, there's only 4 attractions that are operating right now. That's what I'm saying, man. Y'all really gotta pay close attention if you're coming here for the first time. It's gonna be very confusing to get back to Dinosaur and the restaurant, because the only way to get to this is literally through this one access point, which to me seems a little dangerous for egress if you had to get a bunch of people out all at once. I mean, I'm sure there's areas in the back lot you can get folks through, but this is one giant dead end. Yeah, there it is. The crazy part is this construction for this new land is going to take as long as it took Universal to build an entire theme park. If Disney put their, as I like to say, boots to asses, they could get this done in a 1.5 years, 2 years max, if they moved fast. So this area we're going to over here, this is one of the, without a doubt, one of the saddest closures that happened out here, in my opinion. And it's one of the areas that's still themed to the Dinoland area. As you notice, the light poles are the Dinoland blue, and then the lights are the same lights that were featured in Chester and Hester's Dinoland Bash. So this giant amphitheater I'm standing in, for those that have been here before, they know this place well. And for those who haven't been here before, this is the site of Rivers of Light, the former nighttime show that ran all the way up to, you guessed it, March of 2020. It was a very popular show. I know there's people out there that'll say it wasn't. It was. They used to run 2 shows on busy nights, and most of those shows, especially the first one, would fill all of these seats up, which is why they had the second one. The second show was right at closing. The first show was usually around 8, 8:30 or 9, depending on, you know, the daylight hours, summer versus fall and winter. And then the second show would usually be right at closing, anywhere between 10 or 11. Yes, you got that right. Animal Kingdom used to stay open till 10 or 11 p.m. regularly. In fact, that's the reason this beautiful amphitheater was built, was to bring Animal Kingdom into the realms of the nighttime parks. So they give people a reason to stay here all day, or come here second half of the day, stay here into the night, park hop, whatever they want to do. This opened along with the Land of Pandora, which is gorgeous at nighttime. It's not so much anymore, because you'll see when I show it to you, it's kind of been neglected, if you will. But when all of this opened, Animal Kingdom was a spectacular nighttime park. They used to also run a nighttime safari. The Kilimanjaro safaris ran at night. In fact, they had a special lighting package installed on all of the safari vehicles as to not bother the animals. But if you ever wanted to see some amazing animal activity, those nighttime safari rides were incredible. So yes, this was the Rivers of Light amphitheater. Rivers of Light was an incredible nighttime show. They didn't use any fireworks, naturally, because we are in a park full of animals, but they took lighting, fountains, and fire effects and maximized everything, and even live actors and actresses as dancers on boats. It was a stunning, stunning show. I'm just sad that they never brought this back. But as I've said before, the events of 2020, I believe more now than ever that was all purposely done for a lot of these corporations to make permanent changes and to do things that they never would have been able to do without it. Because there's no way without a long closure that they could have just ended Rivers of Light and then also shortened Animal Kingdom's hours. People would have thrown a fit. Oh, and add in a paid Fast Pass system that used to be free with your ticket or annual pass. None of that would have happened. People can tell me that it would have. I call bullshit. It would have never happened. So that was one of the other impacts too that went along with the closure of this nighttime show, is Animal Kingdom has not ever stayed open into the night, with the exception of the fall and winter hours, because they close the park now at 6 or 7 p.m. Animal Kingdom used to stay open till 10 or 11 regularly, hence the reason for this beautiful amphitheater. But once the parks reopened, they saw an opportunity to cut costs, put more money in the shareholders and CEOs' pockets and whatnot. And so Animal Kingdom's never stayed open past 6 or 7 p.m. On occasion, they'll stay open till 8 p.m., but that's on rare occasions. So the only time to ever see this park at night is you have to visit here after the time change in early November, and you have to visit here in that time block between the first week of November and right before the time changes back in middle of March. So basically you've got 4.5 months to see Animal Kingdom at night, which I think is horseshit. This park should stay open late. People love Animal Kingdom. The reason this park isn't that packed anymore is a lot of people don't see the value in coming here. First off, there's only 5 attractions now. Well, when one attraction goes down, now there's 4, and another attraction's getting ready to get closed permanently. There's just not a lot to do here, and it's a beautiful park, but people aren't going to spend that kind of money to come here for only 4 or 5 attractions. Basically, Animal Kingdom is the new Hollywood Studios from 2017 to 2018, 2019. Anybody remember that, when there was only 2 or 3 attractions at Hollywood Studios? Yeah. The folks that didn't do their research on that one were pissed. There was hardly anything available at Hollywood Studios for about 1.5 years or 2 years. It was nuts. But do you think they changed the ticket pricing? Heck no. So this is a sad area to me, because this has sat vacant for over 5 years now. It's just literally a place that people come and sit and take a break. And in my opinion, one of the biggest waste of space on property right now. Think about what you could do with this. Even if they decided not to ever have another nighttime show, think about what you could do with this property. It's enormous. I mean, you could almost add another land here. You could make a land and have it surround this water feature, keep this water feature here, because it is part of the greater Animal Kingdom landscape. There's so much you can do. But, Disney's doing Disney things and just, they take their most popular group of theme parks in the world, Walt Disney World, right where I'm standing, and these are probably, without a doubt, the most neglected, most half-assed Disney theme parks that exist around the entire world. And I believe they do this because their attitude right now is like that of an alcoholic. There's no consequence. They think that because Disney World is the most popular group of Disney parks in the world, that people will come regardless, and that they can do whatever they want, and people will still show up and pay them gobs and gobs and gobs of money. Well, I think that's starting to change now, because if you look at the park attendance overall, it is dropping drastically, and they're saying that September, October, and the fall, and even early winter months are probably going to be a whole lot slower than in years past. And the big telltale will be, what is it going to be like during Christmas? If they lose the Christmas crowds, then I believe the pressure is going to be insanely high, and they're going to have to make some big changes. Because honestly, why would you keep this like this? I just don't get it. This is stupid. All right, moving on. This bridge overlooks one of my favorite Disney World attractions and best themed ever, Expedition Everest. Once again, another Joe Rohde masterpiece. This is why I get so irritated at the current state of Disney Imagineering, because when you look at this land, which was modeled after Nepal and Mount Everest, you know, the Imagineers actually took trips out there, spent a long time, gathered photos, artifacts, talked to the locals, and when they came back to the US, they brought pretty much anything and everything as far as information and artifacts and pictures and even sketches to make this land as authentic as possible. And Expedition Everest still is, to this current time, the most expensive roller coaster ever built. And it's also got a long wait time right now, because when Animal Kingdom only has 5 attractions available as it is, and then you have one closed down for technical problems, well, now that leaves you 4 attractions, thus making the lines very long, because there's not as much to do here. And that's an ongoing problem all across Walt Disney World Resort, because the amount of attractions and shows and entertainment that has been cut following 2020 has been insane. I see a lot of people just milling around doing nothing. And this right here, thought we'd point this out, this is the old tap style. This is what you used to scan to get into Rivers of Light, which was the nighttime show. This was the entrance on the Expedition Everest side, which you can see is themed way differently. The other side was themed to Dinoland USA, which that side connected to. This side connects to Expedition Everest and is themed to the area of Nepal. And it's spot on too. If you look at photos from the areas that actually surround Mount Everest, it looks just like this. And sadly, another fact, this was the last project that was done here at Walt Disney World in 2006 that did not involve any intellectual property. So it's almost been 20 years since a project was done here at Walt Disney World that didn't involve intellectual property of some kind. And personally, if you want to bring back lots and lots of people, make projects that aren't based on intellectual property. I mean, look what they're doing at Dollywood. They got that new aviation ride that's just been dreamt up. It's not based off of anything. It's just pure creation, which is what this land is. This land is incredible. And right here is Kali River Rapids. I'll put some text on the screen as well so people pay attention. If you have a trip coming here in October to Walt Disney World, and more specifically Animal Kingdom, Kali River Rapids is going to close for a long closure starting October 5th. Say it one more time. October 5th, Kali River Rapids will undergo a long closure to do their regular maintenance. They're going to do it early because of Dinosaur closing down in February. And to me, that's kind of a crappy time to close this, because they're going to close it just in time for everybody to come here for October break. But when you have all these closures that they're doing, there really is no good time. So I'm going to say it once again. If you're coming here in October of 2025, meaning next month, October 5th will be the last day that you can ride Kali River Rapids until the new year. It looks like it's going to reopen sometime in mid-January, just before Dinosaur closes permanently, which then Dinosaur will eventually become the Indiana Jones attraction. We'll see how that goes. This show here, it's still in service, but this used to be called Up, A Great Bird Adventure. Up till, yes, you guessed it, one more time, the events of March of 2020. So this used to feature the characters of Doug and Russell and all of the birds, and it was a pretty cool show. I saw it once or twice. It was fun. It was a fun little show. But after the parks reopened, the entertainment across all of the Walt Disney World parks stayed shuttered for a long time, and it started coming back slowly. But some of them came back in new forms, and this was one of them. So this is now Feathered Friends in flight. But when you walk past this attraction on the outside, they still have replicas of what used to be. Hence the statues of Doug and Russell right here. Like I said, they were the main characters in the show. This Wilderness Explorers nature spot, they've had to move some of these around because of all the closures out here. But this area, the Upcountry Landing, this used to be a Baloo and Louie meet and greet. That's where this was. They had them right back in here. Animal Kingdom used to be one of the greatest parks for character interactions. They had so many character meet and greet spots. And that was one of my other questions, is with all of the closures of Dinoland, with Dinoland basically now being completely closed with the exception of that smaller area, what is going to happen to all those character meet and greets? You know, at least 4 or 5 of them never returned from the closures of 2020. Launchpad McQuack never came back. They had a bunch of others that were out there in the Dinoland area, and also the Chester and Hester's Dinoland Bash area that never returned either. Animal Kingdom only returned a fraction of the character meet and greets, which is sad. This park is busy today. Like I said, there's just people roaming around because there's nothing to do. It's just mobs of people just walking around. We're going to go back here by the Kilimanjaro Safaris for a minute. I want to talk about some things back here too that never returned. We're back here by Kilimanjaro Safaris. This used to be one of the neatest features of Animal Kingdom staying open late. They used to do a nighttime Kilimanjaro safari ride, and they used to have a special lighting package outfitted to the Kilimanjaro safari vehicles, so you could see the animals at night and all their activities, but it wouldn't disturb the animals. It was a special kind of lighting package. It was really neat. That never returned. And then back here at Rafiki's Planet Watch, this is a neat area as well. You can take a Wildlife Express train back to Rafiki's Planet Watch. Pretty neat little area. Back here they have the animation experience where you can learn how to draw various Disney characters. And then out here as well, they used to have Rafiki's meet and greet. Yes, Rafiki used to have his own meet and greet. It was all themed back there and everything. That Rafiki's Planet Watch kind of reopened as a shell of itself after 2020. There's still a decent amount of things to do back there, but comparable to what was there before, like I said, one of the big draws of going out there, one was the Animation Academy, which is fun, that's still there, but also Rafiki's own themed special meet and greet was out there. That was really cool. The meet and greet experiences, as I mentioned, were heavily impacted by 2020. So many never came back. And why, I have no idea, other than Disney's just trying to see what they can get away with. That's all I can think of. Because for every meet and greet that doesn't return, every bit of entertainment that doesn't return, every attraction that doesn't return, is money that they don't have to pay out, that they can hold on to. Meanwhile, other parks, like lots of other parks, are expanding their attractions and entertainment and all sorts of offerings. While we're heading into the world of Avatar, Pandora, the other thing too, just like the other Disney World parks, They didn't have to tear apart an existing land to just replace it with something else. There is so much available land here. They could have expanded Animal Kingdom, which is what it needs. It needs more attractions. Even when the new Tropical America's land reopens, we're not gaining anything because every attraction that's going to be in there is just replacing an attraction that's currently closed. So you're not gaining anything. And that's going to be one of the biggest problems. They need to expand these parks big time. So welcome to the Valley of Moar, land of Avatar, Pandora. It is steamy out today. All right, welcome to Avatar, everybody. We're currently under the floating mountains, which is a pretty impressive structure, I must say. It is beautiful. So one of the big reasons Animal Kingdom stayed open late into the night, like at 10 or 11, was because of this land, the land of Pandora. This land glows at nighttime. It's got tons of little fiber optic lights. It's got a bunch of LEDs strategically placed. And if you notice, the ground is colorized, like with blues and greens, some pinks and purples, some yellows. And at night, they have special lighting that comes on that makes the ground glow. Well, of course, nobody can see that now because they don't keep the parks open late enough. The only time you can see this is, again, if you come in the late fall and winter months when it gets dark at 4:30 in the afternoon. But a lot of people comment on this through various social media sites. I see it a lot on the Walt Disney World Tips and Tricks site. And people will put on there, what is the point of making an entire land designed to be seen at night and you close the park at 5 or 6 p.m.? It's a good question. The main reason, like I said, Disney doesn't want to spend the money. They know right now people keep coming, so just keep on ripping people off, basically. But yeah, if you want to ever see this land at night, as of right now, until Animal Kingdom changes their management and changes the park hours to close at 10 or 11, people will never get to see this unless they come here for a short period of time, which is about 4.5 months, when it gets dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. The other thing is when this land was built, this ground was supposed to be a specialized type of material that when you walked on it, it would make your footprints glow. But apparently that was going to be too much money, and Disney scrapped that, and they opted to just paint the concrete, which it looks good, but this is Florida, and it rains and pours throughout every summer, and the sunlight is very bright, very intense. And as you can see, it fades the paint very quickly, and the rain washes it away, so they have to come by and repaint this about 2 or 3 times a year because of the weather. When you wonder what the cost of constantly repainting the pavement is versus if they would have just spent the money and put in those fiber optic type color changing walkways. Right? And this is another thing I want to point out here. These little plant life objects, these are part of the items that glow and light up here in the land of Pandora at nighttime. But as you can see, they've been kind of left into a state of disrepair, meaning because the park's not open late, these don't get cleaned. And the weather and the elements are definitely taking over. These are faded way more than they used to be. These used to be a lot deeper blue color, but you can see how faded they are now. And even when they do come on at night, like I said, during the fall and winter months, the lights aren't as vibrant as they used to be because of how faded and dirty that these items have become. You can see, though, they're everywhere. When this land first opened, I came here the first month it was open. I came here at nighttime. I want to tell you something. This was spectacular. It was really, really neat to see. I was amazed. And in fact, because the rides of Flight of Passage and then Navi River Journey were so popular, Animal Kingdom used to have a after hours event. I bet a lot of people don't know that either. Here's another thing, like I was saying. I mean, look at this. This is almost shameful. Hey, I'm sorry, but this should not be. This looks absolutely terrible. But again, when you're not keeping the park open late at night, so the guests can see this all lit up, then what's the point, right? I mean, I guess that must be their mentality. Why should we pay people to clean these? But these look terrible now. Basically, they're so faded they almost need to be replaced. You can see right here there's a smidgen of color, but the sun nor the rain and weather have gotten to. You can see the blue right there, how vibrant it is. That's how all of these used to be. They used to be that color. But for $120 all the way up to $150, $160, $170 per person, you know, price keeps going up and the quality keeps going down. And right here, you can see all these features right here. These are part of the black lights that shine on the concrete that help to illuminate the ground at night. And this object here, this plant-looking object, used to spray water. It has a hole in the side of it. You can see right there where that pink is, there's a hole right there. And what used to happen is you'd walk up and touch that, and it would make noise and it would spray water out onto the concrete out here. And at nighttime when you touch this, that whole thing would glow. It would glow with the most amazing colors. So much for that, right? And that, ladies and gents, is Animal Kingdom. That's everything. We did the full circle tour. So as you can see by touring it around here, there's a lot that's missing. A lot that never came back. And again, as I keep saying over and over again, that's what contributes to the parks feeling more crowded than ever, because there's a lot less for people to do. Well, since we're here by the Tree of Life, I can point that out too. They used to do a nighttime show every single night on the Tree of Life, right at closing. It was called Tree of Life Awakenings. That was included when the park started staying open late in 2017. So it all kind of happened at once. Rivers of Light came along, Avatar Land of Pandora opened up, and then they also created a new nighttime show on the Tree of Life. The Kilimanjaro Safari vehicles got lighting packages. Expedition Everest at night was a thrill all its own. You haven't ridden Expedition Everest till you've ridden that thing at nighttime. Holy cow, is that an amazing attraction at night. And I bet it goes at least anywhere between 3 and 5 miles an hour faster. Well, folks, there you have it. Abandoned in plain sight. All of the attractions, entertainment, character meet and greets, all of that has been changed forever by not returning to the Walt Disney World resort theme parks. And I'm sure I didn't cover everything. You know, unfortunately, there's been so much that's been taken away that I'm sure I've left a few things out. But as I said in the intro to this vlog, Animal Kingdom and Epcot were probably the two most biggest impacted of the theme parks. So much has changed there at both parks. And, you know, hopefully at some point in time that we reverse the course here and start bringing some of this entertainment back, because, you know, I know Disney says that, oh, it's all about the attractions and that's about it. They can say that, but people love entertainment. You can't deny that. Theme parks invest a lot of money in entertainment. I mean, SeaWorld is a perfect example. Universal Orlando, another perfect example. They put on some really good shows. And even Dollywood and some of the smaller regional theme parks, they put on amazing entertainment. People love entertainment. And I don't know what it's going to take to get that through Disney's thick heads, that they need their entertainment back, and then they need to add to that. People like nighttime shows. That gave people a reason to come to Animal Kingdom for a full-day park. They wonder now why the damn attendance is falling here. It's because there's nothing to do. Attractions can only carry a theme park for so long before you need to add other things. Hopefully this is kind of eye-opening for everybody, because it's a big deal. Oh, and I knew it. I knew it. I forgot one thing as I was walking out of the park. At every park, there were souvenir kiosks out front. Animal Kingdom had a big one. It was like an octagon-shaped building. It was really, really neat with everything that it had in there. Epcot has one too, and I forgot to show that one also. Those never reopened post-2020. Before 2020, they were open all the time. In fact, I used to stop into that kiosk outside of Animal Kingdom frequently because it was a great place to grab a last-minute souvenir. It was a great place to grab a Magic Band if you were heading into the park. Let's say you forgot to buy a Magic Band or you wanted to, you know, try one out before you got into the park. You could do that. On the way out, you could get something to drink. You could get some snacks. You could get, like I said, you could get Disney pins in there. You could get everything in there. They never reopened, and these buildings sit vacant in the wide open. If I can remember, when I go back out, either tomorrow or the next day to do Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, I'll swing back by Animal Kingdom and Epcot, and I'll cover those kiosks while I'm out, and I'll just add those into the next vlog. And again, folks, I'm not doing this just to like have something to bitch about. I'm doing this because, damn it, it's about time somebody showcased this. I'm just tired of these you know, these main channels that are always to the front of the line on YouTube, and everybody sees it. Oh, this is wonderful. This is great. And I've said it before, it is wonderful to come here. Don't get me wrong on that. That is not the problem. But nobody wants to highlight the fact that there's been so many things closed here that have never reopened. And that is a problem when you're spending all this money to come here. That needs to be addressed. So I hope you found this entertaining, and I hope it gave you something to think about. Before we wrap this up, I want to wish you all a happy college football Saturday. Boiler up. Got a big game tonight under the lights at Ross 8 in West Lafayette. And tomorrow, it's pro football time. I know there's been a couple games already, Thursday night, Friday night, and not a Chargers fan, but go Chargers. It was great to see them beat Kansas City. It was awesome. Have a great day, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you soon. This has been the truth. It's been actual. And I hope you found this. Mighty satisfaction. I hope it gave you something to think about. Fire Medic Adventures. Out. See ya.
2-minute timeout coming up, Don.
So 2-minute timeout is going to be taken right here. Indiana right now is leading in this ball game.
Timeout.
21-3, and we will keep it here for this 2-minute break.